Hi everyone, Etta here. This video is to answer your questions, all the questions that you submitted to me on the community tab. I had said that I was thinking about doing this kind of video that, just something laid back, a little easygoing. I don't even have anything from Scentsy truly to share with you at this point. I haven't done. Today is June 2nd. I just got off of work probably 10 minutes ago, and I thought, what better way to kind of start my weekend before hubby gets home, just to spend some time talking to you and answering the questions that you had for me. I thought that would be a great way to start the weekend. But so it's June 2nd, and I still haven't even done my order for Bring Back My Bar. It was a very busy week, and I just haven't had time because I want to close out a party and do my Bring Back My Bars that way, and maybe get some more of the summer collection bars, the Sunshine State of Mind. And I just haven't had time to do that, and I want to kind of take my time doing it. I did notice yesterday, June 1st, that Lisa Roberry had already gotten, because she was able to do a pickup at the warehouse, the distribution center, of the whiff box for June, and it seems like a very nice box. Very nice. I was tempted right then and there to do an order, and I had to think about it some more and think about it and kind of convince myself that no, I probably don't need that. So I did not pick it up as of June 2nd. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the questions that you submitted. I went ahead and typed them up and share some information about myself. I thank you for being interested in having some questions for me. I kind of joked with my husband. Tammy was the first person who submitted a question, and I told my husband, I was like, well, what if Tammy's it? Like, what if that's the only question I get? He just kind of laughed too, like, I don't know. So I didn't. I got 7 people who submitted questions, and I truly appreciate you doing that. I know people have put that out there before. I usually don't know what to ask, so that may be some of you think, I don't know, well, what do I ask somebody? For me, almost everything is fair game. Of course, there are going to be some things that may be completely personal as it relates to maybe my family. I feel like I can be a pretty open book. I'm not really afraid to share things about myself unless it involves talking about somebody in my family who maybe doesn't want that information out there. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. And like I said, Tammy was the first person who had asked me a question, and her question was, are you a spring, summer, or fall, winter person? And then the second part of her question is, and what's your all-time favorite scent from both seasons? And Tammy, I really had to think about that for a while. And Pearl, who was the next person who asked, must have been on the same wavelength as Tammy, because she asked, what's your favorite scent of all time? So I don't want to skip Pearl's question, but Pearl's question kind of goes in with Tammy's also. So when I first started doing wax, especially from Scentsy, right? Because I probably didn't. I mean, I bought a couple of things from Walmart prior to really delving into Scentsy, but when I started diving into Scentsy in the second half of 2018, it probably was already in the fall winter catalog at that point. I truly enjoyed the scents that I was trying. I picked things that I thought I would like, and I did like them, and I was really enjoying it. And I would have told anyone then that I was a fall winter person, that was my scent category. It probably wasn't until maybe, I don't know if it was after spring summer of 19 or spring summer of 2020. I want to say it was spring summer of 2019, because there already would have been a club. So yeah, I think so. What I noticed was, as my collection grew, my collection of spring summer was always bigger than my collection of fall winter. Partially because living in Houston, in the in Texas, and having grown up in Louisiana, my year is predominantly warm. I don't have long winter cold time. For me, it's, quickly it gets warm here, and those of us who live in Houston or Texas and Louisiana and some of the more southern areas, we joke about how many times haven't we worn shorts for Christmas. I mean, people talk about having a white Christmas. How about just having sometimes you think just having a cold Christmas. So I think that's part of the reason why I was more oriented towards spring and summer, because I can warm those scents more than I can do fall winter. And so I realized I was more of a sorry, my phone was telling me that somebody was calling. I realized that I was more of a spring summer person, and that's what I enjoy the most. And I also enjoy fruity scents and things like that. So I think that's probably why. But in terms of all-time favorite scent, that I had a really hard time trying to figure that out. And I was kind of talking about it with my husband, and I thought, for me, it would almost, I don't know that I could say an all-time favorite. I really don't think I could, because there are so many scents that I like. And I talked about in my last video how sometimes a scent, if I do it, I do a lot of it, or I've done it for a long time, that there's always new scents to do. And sometimes I feel like, okay, I've done that scent, I'm kind of done with it. I don't necessarily need to do it anymore. And I have a really hard time picking a all-time favorite. I kind of joked with my husband that maybe my all-time favorite is the next new scent. I enjoy trying the new ones. I enjoy that. There are some that I would like to always have, and some that I can't because they've gone away and I don't have them in my club. And I have, I've learned to move on and try something else and find a new scent that I love. And it's one of the things that I do like about, there's always a new scent coming out, because I enjoy that. If I absolutely had to pick an all-time favorite, I don't want to pick something that's more current. Like right now, I love a peeling apple. I've always loved the lemon scents. I love lemon sorbet. I truly love luscious lemon. I took it out of my club because I thought, I don't know what I was thinking, but I took it out of my club. I love those scents. But I don't necessarily want to do, let's say, luscious lemon or lemon sorbet in the fall winter. I don't have it in my club, and I love it, and I've loved it since the beginning, since I started. And that quickly the scent went out of my head. Sheer leather. I don't know why I can't think. I guess because it's Friday afternoon, late afternoon now. Sheer leather. I loved sheer leather from the time I started. And it was a scent that carried from catalog to catalog. And I love those kind of scents. I remember that Vanilla Suede and I think Vanilla Oud were both like a Bring Back My Bar, or even in the catalog something way back when I started. Loved that one. there's just so many, and there's so many that I wish would come back or that I could get again and to bring back my bar. For instance, from the fall winter, oh my gosh, why doesn't my brain want to work today? Maybe it'll come to me. I can't think of it. I would have 10 minutes ago, I probably would have been able to tell you which one it is, but I just can't think of it. Should be in my inventory, I think, because I'm pretty sure I still have a couple of bars because I don't want to lose it. Nope. Stroopwafel Delight. I knew it was in my inventory because I haven't used the bars that I do have. I think I probably have like 2 bars. I didn't look to see how many, but that's a scent that I love that, you know, I don't even want to call it an all-time favorite because there are just so many that I like. And so I'd almost have to say the next great scent is my all-time favorite because I just love trying new stuff. So thank you for asking that question. And you really made me think. Next one, like I said, Tammy and Pearl asked that basically. Then Melissa Johnson Haight. Melissa asked, first question, she asked me 4. She says, which bars do you wish would come back to bring back my bar? Whew. Obviously, some of my favorites, I want Stroopwafel Delight. I've said a million times I want the Hygge collection to come back. I want Amber Road. I want African Mahogany. I want Luscious Lemon to come back. I probably could go through Stroopwafel Delight. I want that one to come back. And beyond that, there's probably a few more that I probably would like to get back that I've lost. Do we or don't we, obviously. Hello. Do we or don't we, way up there. But other than some of the favorites that I would like to get back, what I'd like to see come back to bring back my bars are ones that we just haven't seen. I would say that I haven't seen since I started. If it hasn't been out when I started, I'm not going to say from when because the Hygge was in 2018, late 2018. Anything since late 2018 back, that's what I want to see come back to bring back my bar. I want it to be things that we just haven't experienced, probably many of us, because there are people who have been doing Scentsy longer than I have. Lisa Rowberry, Patricia G, Metallica Mom, you know, I'm just saying like channel names. They've been doing it much longer than I have and probably experienced way more sense than I have. But I'd like to see that as opposed to, sure, sometimes it's nice for some of them to come back. Like I had taken Happy Birthday out of my club, so I'm glad that that's back. But when the percentage of bars that come back are more recent, that I don't like. If it were out of 20, if 4 were more ones that had been back semi-recently and everything else was just like, we haven't seen that in 7 years, that would be great. That's what I would wish for the Bring Back My Bar. Second question, if you could vacation anywhere in the world, where would you choose? Wow. Okay, I've got a couple of places that I'd like to go. First is Israel. I have wanted to visit Israel for a long time. I wanted to walk the path that Jesus walked. I'd like to see some of those places. I've longed to do that for a long time, so I absolutely would like to be able to do that one day. At one point, Larry and I, we couldn't decide. Larry wanted to go to France, and I wanted to go to Greece. Now, mind you, Larry works for an airline, and so we get to fly standby. which back when we were going to do that, it wasn't like super easy to get on a plane, but it wasn't as hard as it is now. One time Larry wanted to just go to New Orleans for something. He needed to go there, and he got bumped like 3 times in the first day that he just couldn't get on the plane. So he finally gave up and just rented. Did he rent a car, or he just came home and got his car and drove to New Orleans? It's really hard for us to fly, and now with, when the kids were younger, there'd be 5 of us flying, so getting on a standby was really hard. But the time we were going to contemplate between France and Greece was actually just before the boys came to live with us. We had planned a vacation. We had planned the dates that we were going to take off that week, and we didn't know which one we were going to go to because we had to fly standby. We were going to watch to see which flights had the better openings, which one did we think we'd be able to get on, and then once we had that, then we were going to book a place wherever we were going to go, and go whichever one of us won, basically whoever had the best opportunity to get on a plane, that's where we were going to go. But just before that happened, we had gone through the whole process of, you're actually getting more information than the questions to ask. I said I'm kind of an open book. Just before that happened, though, we had already gone through the whole process of, we went through CPS and we took the classes that you had to take. It was a couple of months worth of every Saturday having to go to classes, and then the psychologist, therapist, whoever comes to your house, and they, ask you a bunch of questions. They look at your home, make sure that everything is up to par, and you go through all that so that you can do. And they told us that it would be better to foster to adopt. We didn't necessarily want to foster because not because we have a problem with fostering, but because we both knew we wanted to adopt children, and there was that fear that kids would come to live with us, and happily for them, maybe things would work out with their families, but we would be devastated in that we would lose them. So we wanted to adopt. And just before we made arrangements for our trip, we got the call saying, hey, we have 3 boys. Do you want to have them come stay with you? And we jumped at the opportunity, and 6 months later we adopted them. So, we both thought France and Greece will always be there, but the opportunity for the boys, that was the moment. So those are the places that we have wanted to go. I also want to go to Hawaii, but when Larry was in the Marine Corps, he was actually stationed in Hawaii for 3 years, I think, out of the 4 I think he spent in Hawaii. So he doesn't necessarily want to go to Hawaii, so I don't know. Guess I won't go there. Next question from Melissa. What is your biggest wish that Scentsy would implement? Oh, wow. I don't think I gave that one enough thought before doing this. I've probably had many thoughts, wishes that I wish Scentsy would implement. I always have ideas of things, but they're probably more wishful thinking of what I would like, not so much that I think that they could implement, more like wishful thinking. Gosh, I don't know. That's a tough one. One of the wishful thinkings that I have sometimes is that they would give us a list and give us a 1 week opening. I don't care, some small window, and say, here's a list of retired scents, And this is your one opportunity to put it in your club. Like, it's not even going to come back and bring back my bar, but here it is. Put it in your club if you want. You got 1 week to do it. I don't care if they said you got 3 days, right? Just give me an opportunity to put some scents in my club that I just don't think will get voted back. Things, scents that I love. I don't know how many people like do we or don't we. It may never come back. Lisa Roberry has tried many times to get Lemon Drop It Low voted back in. I'd love to try that one. I've never gotten to try that one. And, so just, I don't know, there's a bunch of wish lists that I have, and I'd like to see updates to the bricks that are in the club. Even if they changed them from season to season, like, it's great that they have some of the scents, right? I know vanilla bean, buttercream, sugar, cookie are two, let's say, bakery bricks. I like bakery. I really do. I just have a hard time smelling it. Well, vanilla bean, buttercream, and sugar cookie probably aren't going to be best choices for me. They would be blenders, and I don't want a brick necessarily for a blender. I mean, I'll do it, but in the fall, maybe take out sugar cookie and put in Stroopwafel Delight. Like, don't bring it back in the Bring Back My Bar. Bring it in a brick for a little while, even if it's just for one catalog season. Give us an opportunity to pick it up at least. Just update the bricks every now and then. They I don't know. After a while, to me, that it seems kind of stale that they just are the same ones over and over. Change them, catalog seasons, I think, supposed to be like 6 months, right? So if you have a club, the longest span you can get is a quarterly. So if every quarter they put a different set, right? So in the spring, summer, you have a set that you do for 3 months, and then the last 3 months of the catalog season, you put a different set in the club for bricks. Then you have a larger grouping of ones to try. And I mean, if you do a bi-monthly club, you have more time to pick it up even. And then the same thing, oops, I didn't mean to hit the microphone stand. Same thing for the spring and summer, fall and winter. 2 sets of bricks to do, and I don't know. Those are some of the wish lists that I have that I kind of wish that Scentsy would implement. Those are some things that would make me happy, at least. Oh, number 4. You asked me, what's your favorite new release this catalog? Wow. I should have brought the catalog with me. I don't know the names of the scents off the top of my head, and I have not tried them all. I know I recently did Lake My Day. I did the raspberry hibiscus tea. I did mango matcha. I'm trying to remember what other ones there were. That might be the only ones I've actually done that were from the new section. That's something that has changed in my format of doing videos. I think when I started, there was the intention, it's never anything that any person who watches you tells you need to do, right? I would tell somebody who's doing a video, I'm not asking you to do that. I don't require that of you. But sometimes I feel like those of us who do videos feel like we need to get the bars right away. We need to warm them because we need to do a warm review. And that doesn't always work for me. Again, sometimes the bars I don't feel like they're cured enough. And I will generally warm a bar in its entirety when I warm it. And I don't want to feel like I wasted the $6 warming something that wasn't ready to be warmed just because I wanted to hurry up and do a warm review for everyone. I feel like I'm going to get the bars when now, right? I feel like I'm going to get the bars when I feel like it's financially feasible for me to do it, when I have the time, and when I get the bars, if it's the right day. I mean, because let's see, when did the new catalog start? Did it start in March now instead of February? I think it was still kind of cold here, and some of those bars I wasn't ready to even do. Right? Same thing with fall winter. I mean, I think the fall catalog started in August. Yeah, well, it's like 90 degrees here. 95, 97. I'm not doing a fall scent. I don't even think I'd be able to really give you a good indication of the scent, because I would feel like, oh my gosh, it was too heavy. It was too, no. So, there are many of the scents from the catalog this season that I just haven't tried because I maybe feel like it wasn't the right day for it. I haven't felt like warming that much. I don't even have warmers on in here. So of the ones that I've tried, like I said, raspberry hibiscus tea, I liked it. Mango matcha, not as much. It was okay, but it wasn't like a favorite. Lake My Day, I said I did recently. I couldn't really smell it. I thought the scent was very pretty. I can't remember if I did any of the other ones. So I'm actually gonna have to go with a toss between Pink Apple and Nectarine and Aloha Orchid. Those aren't new to the catalog, but they were new, right, this season. And I guess if I kind of cheated a little and said it was new to the catalog, but it wasn't a new scent, I'd have to go with Sparkling Yellow, because that was from the Rainbow Collection, and I love that one. I think it's wonderful. So I guess I'd cheat a little bit and say that one. Thank you, Melissa, for those questions. I enjoyed that. That was fun. Monica asked me, let's see, she says, we all have a mental wish list in our head of the warmers we want at some time. Yeah, I usually have too many in my head. Which one is on your list? I know you have a lot, but is there one or two you're wanting? Well, Monica, there's always one or two I'm wanting. I did look through the current listings. I pulled it up online because I couldn't think of the name of it, having a problem with remembering warmer names. And so far in the catalog right now, there's only one that I actually have my eye on. I don't think of like warmer of the month and stuff like that. Sometimes I do kind of want a warmer of the month, but I kind of leave those in the very back of my head, or if I'm closing a party, I might decide to do it then or something like that. But from the current selections online of warmers that are not in, let's say, clearance, I have my eye on the Ocean Ombre. Yeah, Ocean Ombre. I really like the way that one looks. In the picture, it has like blues and purples, and I love those colors. And the top in the picture kind of looks almost like a muted pink. It just looks gorgeous. I love the way it looks, and yeah, that's the one I have my eye on. And having so many warmers, I have a hard time getting them at full price. I do. I look for opportunities to make it a half price item when I close a party, or I take my chances and wait and see if it goes on clearance at some point. And when I say clearance, I mean like flash sale. I've actually gotten some great warmers that way. My Accord warmers I got in a flash sale. It was like pretty much right after I started, I think. or started really looking. Can't remember if the flash sale was like late 2018 or like early 2019. That's when I got my Accord warmers. I got those. I got it was a Christmas red globe that was kind of etched. I got that one in a flash sale at the same time as the Accord. I've gotten some other ones that way. So that one's the one from the current catalog. But because you asked the question, I did go back and look through some of I try to save the discontinued list to my phone. So I was like, there's probably some in there, because in the discontinued, sometimes I might pick it up, and then other times I think, well, maybe it'll come back to clearance, or maybe it'll come out in a flash sale. I'll take my chances. One of the ones that I wanted, I think it was in the last flash sale, not the warehouse sale, but I think it was in the last flash sale, and I think it was, and I had it in my cart, and it sold out before I could get out of there. It was Flight of the Monarch. Love the way that one looks. It's got a huge butterfly on it. So I had my eye on that. If I ever see it again in a flash sale, I'm picking it up. So that was one. Let's see. Next list here was from Fall Winter 2020. Let's see. I have the Flyaway. I got that one. I got the Gilded. Frenchie, I thought was very cute, but no, not so much. Peace and Prosperity, I would have liked that one. If I could have gotten it, let's say, in a flash sale at a ridiculously low price, I possibly would have gotten that one as more as a decorative piece, not for warming, because that one, I think it's meant to look like an artichoke, at least that's what my brain tells me. I would want to leave the lid on. I wouldn't want to take the lid off for the scent to maybe come out more or whatever. So, yeah, if I ever see that one at a ridiculously low price, I would probably try to get that one. Let's see, Fall Winter 2021. This is hard to see. This is printed so little. Oh, it's the Terrazzo. I remember contemplating over and over again when it was in the catalog that maybe I'd get the Terrazzo. Never did, but again, ridiculously low price in a flash sale. Yeah, probably so. I also thought the pear effect, the one that looks like a pear. I thought that was cute, but again, when you have a ton of warmers, you have to be extremely picky. Extremely picky. From this discontinued at the end of Spring Summer 2022. So I got a chance on that one, maybe, right? It could still possibly show up. It may already have in a flash sale and I just didn't get it. But one is the Dachshund, and the Dachshund would be definitely just a decorative piece for me. I've got Xena, who is a Doberman, but prior to Xena, we had Haley. And Haley was a Dachshund, and she found us. She walked with the last house that we lived in. She walked up to Larry on the porch. We tried to find her owner. We brought her to the vet to see if she had a chip. Couldn't find the owner. Drove around. Couldn't do it. After like 3 days, it was like, well, she's my dog now. And we lost her a couple of years ago. And I miss her, and the Dachshund would be a beautiful reminder of my Haley, and that one I would pick up for sure if I saw it in a flash sale. The other one that was from that same discontinued list is Light from Within. I thought that one was so pretty. It looks like it has like a wood base and then like a cream ceramic base that's got almost like little diamond shape cross marks on it, and that was one that I had my eye on for a long time. I didn't pick it up when the season ended, and still hoping that maybe in a flash sale. And this one, which says Spring Summer 2021. At one point I had my eye on the Wildlife one and kind of changed my mind. I think that was it from that one. I probably keep my eye also on diffuser shades. I have way too many diffuser shades. I don't need another one. But if a diffuser shade that I think is absolutely beautiful and that I don't have were to show up on a flash sale for $10, yeah, I'm gonna pick it up. So I don't know. That's me. That's my brain. That's how I think. So Monica, I appreciate that question. Thank you so much. Let's see. Natalie from Melt with Nat and Jack. Natalie asked, "What's your favorite food?" Ooh, man, oh man. I thought about that one when I saw the question, and when I was a little kid, I would have said peanut butter and jelly. In fact, anytime when I was little, somebody asked me what I wanted to eat, it was peanut butter and jelly. And I love peanut butter and jelly. Not as much as I did when I was a kid, but my father had a way of making my peanut butter and jelly that it became truly like the only real way I want to eat it. And I would make it sometimes for my kids, especially if they, I don't know, because my father made it for me, and I'm going to try to make it through this conversation without getting too sad. But because my father made it for me, it has a very special place in my heart, and it's like a comfort food now at this point. So I think sometimes if the boys were not feeling so good and, you know, they didn't really want to eat like a regular dinner, or, you know, I would say, I'll make you some peanut butter and jelly, and I would make it the way my father made it. And I always said that, especially the way he made it, my favorite jelly was always apple jelly with the peanut butter. So as a kid, I would have said peanut butter and jelly. My previous boss asked us a couple of years ago when we went to lunch, if you could only have one food to eat every day for the rest of your life, what would it be? He was asking the group at lunch what their answer was. And, you know, his answer was pizza. Some other people said pizza. Some people said, I think, spaghetti. I heard different things. And when he came to me, I could tell he didn't like my answer, not because it was a bad answer. It's just that it's not something he likes. But I said rice and beans. I could eat rice and beans probably every day. I grew up where we had rice and beans probably once a week. And it was the type of thing, you know, you made a big pot of beans. It would last for several days. And Dad on the weekend would take the leftover rice and beans, and he would make this big breakfast. He would make eggs, sometimes bacon, and then I'm going to call it what we called it. The dish was called gallo pinto. And it was basically rice and beans with slivered onions that were fried together. And to this day, I wish I could remember, because I asked my father when I was younger, how did he make gallo pinto? And he explained it to me, and I cannot remember for the life of me. I know there was some process, you know, it wasn't like just throw everything into the pan. I remember him saying something about cooking something and getting the moisture out. I think it might have been the rice, and then he had just the right amount of how much liquid from the beans. My father's gallo pinto was like the best. I've tried making it, and I cannot reproduce the perfection of his gallo pinto. And man, boy, do I wish I could. My mother, she made things that I miss also. She made the best cinnamon rolls. I was always a sweet person. I love sweets. And we would laugh because, or I would laugh because she would be making cinnamon rolls and would ask me if it looked like it had enough cinnamon as she was doing it. And I'd be like, Mama, that needs more cinnamon. And she'd put a little bit more. And then I'd say, Mama, it needs more cinnamon. And she would mostly talk to me in Spanish. And she'd say, ay, muchacha. And even Larry will joke and, he will say things the way she has said and would say things. And we laugh about that. But she made the best cinnamon rolls. And she would make bread for herself. She would make like dinner rolls, but they were softer, a little bit sweeter. They were delicious, homemade dinner rolls. And my grandmother on my dad's side would make. They lived in Honduras. They had the mango trees, and they had lemon trees and coconuts and avocados. They had all kinds of stuff in their yard, and she would make. Her and my grandfather, they would make like pineapple preserves, like pineapple jelly, pineapple preserves. She would also make pineapple syrup for like putting on a waffle or pancakes, actual like syrup for that. And that's where I had my cooked mangoes. And oh gosh, what else did my grandmother make? Pineapple, you've probably seen, like little pies, like think of like a empanada, like a little meat pie, but instead it would be like the pineapple in the inside, the pineapple preserves. Oh my gosh. So favorite food, long story, favorite food are the foods that I can't have anymore. I can go to a restaurant and eat whatever. Sure. I love shrimp. I'm not a big meat eater. I love shrimp. I love pasta. I love pizza. I love rice and beans. I love peanut butter and jelly. But I miss the foods I can't have anymore. I miss the food that was made with love from my parents, from my grandparents. My grandpa on my mother's side would make my birthday cake every year. Towards the end of his life, after my grandmother passed, he lived with us, and he would make egg salad for me so that I could take egg salad for lunch. I miss all those things. So that is my favorite food. Gotta get it together here. Thank you, Natalie. Besides wax videos, do you watch anything else? Yeah. I stopped watching like regular network TV, I guess. Like, got rid of cable. So everything I watch through the Roku. Watch lots of YouTube. Wax videos. For sure. I watch a lot of keto videos. There's a gentleman, his channel's called Serious Keto. I like to watch his channel. I can't think of the other man's name. I've watched so many of his videos about keto and being keto, and then I watch many videos about Christianity. The best way for me to describe it. I think there's a channel it's called Gospel of Christ or Gospel of Jesus, and the other one's Treasure. Oh gosh, I can't think of the names of the channels. I know them when I see them, and if you like watching videos about Christianity, search videos about Vodi Bakum, and they might show up in like Gospel of Jesus or Gospel of Christ, whatever. I can't think. And some of the other ones. And some of them might actually just show up under Vodi Baucham. It's Voddie. And I think the last name is like Baucham or UM. I'm not sure. He has wonderful, like, not necessarily sermons. I think most of the videos I find are ones where he's gone to some place to do like a talk, right? I don't know. A meeting or whatever. And he has the man is just superb. I just love watching videos where he's talking. I watch a lot of videos from the Daily Wire. I like watching Jordan Peterson, although that man just goes way over my head. Way over my head. I feel like I need a dictionary and an encyclopedia when that man talks. Every now and then I can get a lot of what he's saying, and other times I listen to the video and I think, what? I mean, I just feel dumb. Just completely dumb when I'm listening to him, because that man is super intelligent. And then there is Tyler Zed, who does Zeducation, and he has some really funny videos that I like to watch. He does, I think twice a week, it's Laugh You Lose, and you like watch this video of a bunch of different memes and stuff, and you know, he tells you that if you laugh then you lose and you have to do the punishment. Not that I ever do a punishment, but you know, I enjoy watching his Zeducation videos. Those are funny. Just different things. I like to find things to watch, and when I do watch, let's say, regular kind of TV, lately I've been trying to find shows. I try to find shows that have already finished so that I can kind of go through the whole seasons, all the seasons, and watch it and finish it. And every now and then, hubby and I will be looking like, what do we want to watch? Like, we've already finished certain show, whatever, and maybe we haven't really been watching any shows for a few months. I find myself sometimes going back to shows that I've already watched and watching them again. And probably one of my favorites to do that with is Person of Interest. I love that show. I think I've watched it 3 times now. I just really like that show, Person of Interest. It's with Jim Caviezel, and I think his name is Michael Emerson. He was on that show Lost. So I enjoy that one. Like I said, I think I've watched the entire show like 3 times already. So I do like that. I do like to watch some movies. I'll tend to watch certain movies over and over and over again too. I think the movie that I've probably watched the most in my lifetime is The 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston. As a kid, it was one of those movies that was shown every year. I can't remember if it was at Christmas time or Easter time, but it came on every year, and I'd watch it every year. So I've probably seen The 10 Commandments over 40 times. Love that movie. And more recent movies that I'd love to watch over and over again, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Renaissance Man. There's a movie, Renaissance Man, with Danny DeVito, and I love that movie too. So those are some of the ones that I like to watch. So in terms of TV, I guess that's what I like to watch. That was actually an awesome question, Natalie. Thanks for asking. Wendy says, do you use all of your warmers at some point during the year? I can answer that right away. No. Or are there warmers you keep up but never use any longer? As in, I think you meant like that I've used before and I just don't use anymore. Yeah, I think so. Or have never used. Yeah, definitely. Uh, I can't tell you how many warmers I have. I don't even know. I definitely do not use them all in a year. Probably the biggest reason is because I don't enjoy having to change everything out. I try to put them back in the boxes. I have to pull out the other boxes. I have to get everything, you got the styrofoam, you got all that. And I have out probably, I haven't counted lately, but I would venture to guess that I have about somewhere between 20 to 25 warmers out. And when I say 20 to 25, I'm also counting Yankee candles, the Yankee candle warmers. So I don't want to spend hours upon hours, basically, over the course of a year changing out all these warmers. And these can be a pain because I have to get the cord behind the thing and I'm pulling it out. And yeah, so I don't change them as often as I should or could, And warmers that I just don't use anymore, yes. And I wouldn't say that about a full-size warmer. I don't think, well, no, there are a couple of full-size warmers that I don't use anymore. I don't find myself using any of the mini warmers. I used to have like a mini warmer in the half bath, and I had a mini warmer in my bathroom. I never put one in the boys' bathrooms because, they tend to, especially when they're younger, they tend to break everything, right? So I would never put one in there. But the half bath, I wind up putting a full size in there. And in my bathroom, I have a full size. In fact, I have a Yankee candle in there. So I just don't, I just kind of got to the point where I just didn't want to do mini warmers. So the ones that I've used, they're just put up, and I actually have some that I've never used of mini warmers, and I have full size ones that I've never used. Speaking of which, I mentioned in my previous video how I had changed out some warmers recently, and I talked about the Portland, and then I couldn't think of the name of the other one. I had to look it up. It's called In the Harbor. And the other one was a little garden warmer that's on my desk. The little garden warmer I had bought for my husband. He never took it to work, so I did put it on my desk. The Portland, I think it came out in like 2019. I just used it, right? And this is I took a picture and printed it. This is a picture of the Portland. And then this is a picture of the In the Harbor. Just so that you'd see what the warmer looks like. And this one is actually prettier than I even realized that it was going to be. I didn't realize, and you possibly can't see it in the camera, there's like blue hues where the water is, and then there's some like blue and beige on the buildings. I'm trying to get it closer so maybe you can see. It's very pretty, and I can't even remember what year I bought that. Just pulled it out. My lemonade pitcher warmer was the first warmer of the month after I became a consultant. That was the very first warmer of the month that I could pick up after becoming a consultant, and that just got pulled out maybe 2 months ago. So yeah, I absolutely have warmers that I've never used, never pulled out. Some because I got them in flash sales, and again, I became a consultant in 2019. In my mind, I thought there were going to be lots of people who wanted to purchase and wanted to buy from me, and I thought I'd probably do a lot of shows, and I'm not saying I can't do shows, but in a way I can't do shows because it's just me. My husband does not work the same schedule as I do. I would have to do a show on like a Saturday because I'm not going to take off from my full-time job to do that. I don't want to do it on a Sunday because I go to church on Sunday. So I'd have to do it like on a Saturday. And that's a lot of times that's when the shows are anyways. And my husband works on Saturdays. So, like I told him, I'd have to bring everything myself, set it all up by myself, take it all down by myself, which, okay, that's not that big of a deal. But if a show is, let's say, 6 to 8 hours, hello, I need to use the bathroom. My bladder is not that strong. So, I almost feel like there's a big expense in doing that. You got to buy the bags. I'd have to get whatever I need to do the payments, and there's just a lot involved to do that. And if I had to do it by myself, and at this point, like I said, I don't have a customer base. I'm okay with that. It is what it is. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it does, only because I did kind of stock up when I started, thinking I would do shows and stuff like that, and that I have a large customer base. I live in a neighborhood that probably has about 1,000 houses in it, and there's also probably a dozen consultants in this neighborhood who probably had started before I had, or who are not introverts, who are not afraid to put themselves out there. I'm not that person. I worked in a retail store, in a ladies' clothing store, when I was a teenager and into my early college years, and I did bookkeeping in the back. I did all of her accounts payable and stuff, and I would help the girl the clothes would come in. I'd help her get the clothes ready and stuff like that. And every now and then the boss would ask me to go out in the front because maybe they got really busy, and oh my gosh, I thought, please don't make me do that. Please don't make me do that. She knew. I mean, I was not the type of person that was going to try to sell you something. Either you want it or you don't. And I know that they say Scentsy's going to sell itself, but it's not going to sell itself if I don't offer it to you. I mean, my website's out there, and I don't have people hitting that up, right? So you have to do something, and I'm not that type of person. I don't even, my older sister buys from me, and I don't push it on my younger sister. I mean, either she wants it or she doesn't. I'm not here to push anything on anybody, and it would have turned me off if somebody had done that to me. I started buying because Larry had won the kit, the thing that he had bid on, and I liked the wax, and I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a try. They never reached out to me. They didn't, try to sell it to me, and when I was ready, I bought. So that's just, that's just who I am. That's the way I do things. And that's why if I don't have a customer base, I realize that it's probably 75% my fault, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Again, sure, who wouldn't want a huge customer base? But if it requires me changing who I am, then no. So I kind of went off topic there. You were asking about warmers, and I kind of went off on a different tangent there. But okay. So thank you, Wendy. Thank you for your question. And then Angie asked me 4 questions. What is a scent you once loved and now dislike? Oh gosh. I probably should have looked that up. Thought about that one. I don't know that there's been a scent that I loved and now I dislike. I think there are scents that I've liked and that I've moved on from. Not that I don't like them anymore. I can't think of any scents, we talk about scent preferences change, but I don't think mine have changed to the point where something I liked I don't like. I usually find that that my scent preferences almost like mature, in the sense that I gain an appreciation for more scents. If you think about, I've always had the analogy, I've made the analogy I think before in a video a long time ago, that when you're a kid, you don't want to eat vegetables. Well, a lot of kids don't want to eat vegetables. I liked vegetables as a kid. Maybe not all of them, but case in point, I didn't like Brussels sprouts probably until about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. It wasn't something that I really liked. I've matured in that particular thing, and I have an appreciation for Brussels sprouts now. But as a kid, a lot of times you only liked certain things, right? And as you get older and you try more things and you experiment with the food and how, this seasoning goes or whatever, your palate matures and you learn to appreciate more things. I feel the same way with the scents. I feel like as I've gotten older and I've tried more things, my palette of scents has matured and I like more. And I don't think I find myself not liking a scent. I think I just find myself thinking, okay, I liked it. It's still good. I just again, there's so many scents. There's new things to try. I can go back to a scent from time to time, but sometimes I feel like, okay, I've experienced it. I'm kind of done with it. Case in point, in my last video of empties, I had Harbor's Edge, which is in the Bring Back My Bar right now. I didn't dislike it, even when I could smell it, because I think I might have done it at one point when I had the little milk cup. I think I did it in the bathroom, and I could smell it there, and I didn't dislike it. I just felt like, oh yeah, I remember that scent, Maybe I didn't find that I liked it as much as I did before, but I didn't dislike it. I think it's more of the novelty wore off of it is the best way to explain it, right? Or the honeymoon is over with that scent. It's like, okay, I've had it, I've experienced it, I enjoyed it. It doesn't wow me the way it did. So I'm moving on from it. So yeah, I don't know that I dislike any of the ones that I've liked. There are obviously ones that I've disliked, and if I really dislike a scent, it's very hard pressed that I'm going to start liking it. Your next question kind of might have been already answered in that one, is, have your scent preferences changed over time? Again, I would say it's matured. I would have been iffy on floral when I first started. Because I didn't probably do a lot of florals, and as I tried more and more of them, I realized I like that. I do like that. Oh, that's nice. Obviously, I didn't have to have a scent preference change when it came to the manly scents. I always liked those. But some scents that maybe I just hadn't experienced. As I experienced them, I realized how much I liked them. So that's how I would say they changed over time, is more that my palette grew in terms of what I like from experience. Oh, next question. What is your husband's favorite scent? Okay, his favorite scent. I'm going to have to include some vendor in there. I would say, in terms of Scentsy, I think my husband's favorite scent is Echo. That was one that I did finally take it out of the club, only because, we had it in the club for a long time. I have several bars. I try to warm it occasionally for him. But I would say that was probably the scent that he would like ooh and ah about the most in terms of, how good it smells from Scentsy. Then I would say he has two other favorite, well, maybe three other favorite scents that are all vendor. One is the blend that we created. He and I created a scent through Kay's Scented Melts. Like, you can do customs with her, right? You can create your own custom. And that was the first one we did. Loved it. Carla must have loved it too, or thought that it would do well, because she actually added it to her lineup of scents, which she does regularly with like the samplers that she does. She'll include people's blends in that. But so I would say that's one of his favorite scents, is the one that we created at Kay's. And then I would say maybe I don't know if our blend and this one would tie, or which one would come above the other one. I'd have to go back and ask Larry. But the other two scents are both from Hayden Rowe. He would say every time I would put in squeaky clean, he would comment like, wow, that smells good. He obviously likes fresh scents. I know he loves manly scents, but I really think he likes fresh scents. But he's kind of like me. He likes the greens. He likes some florals. He likes a lot of things too. But squeaky clean, every time I would put it in, he would comment, wow, that smells good. So I know he loves that one. And so again, our custom and squeaky clean, I don't know where they would land for him as to which one would be above the other one. But I would say his all-time favorite scent, it's the one that he absolutely will ooh and ah about over every other scent that there is. I think he would probably tell me to buy loaves upon loaves of it. Is from Hayden Rowe, Breath of God. Love that scent. We both do. But I would say he loves it more than I do. He loves that scent, Breath of God from Hayden Rowe. So if you happen to see it on her website, because I haven't been shopping the excuse me, I haven't been shopping vendor wax. Like I said, I purchased a couple of things at the beginning of the year, but I really haven't been shopping vendor wax. And so if you happen to see Squeaky Clean or Breath of God, let me know so that I can go pick up that for Larry, because I'm sure he would appreciate that. And then the last question, which is from Angie, she asked, what does he think, so my hubby, right? What does Larry think about your passion for wax? I have a hugely supportive husband. He supports me wholeheartagely. I give him a hard time. Sometimes I wonder why he supports me. Because I can be a nagger. I can be a complainer. I can be a downer. He supports me in what I like more than I support him in what he likes. I'm trying to be better. But wow, I couldn't ask for a better man when it comes to that. He doesn't complain about how much I buy. He's been in here before and, kind of joked with me, made the comment like, I think you got enough wax. But when I say, I don't know if I should get this or whatever, and he's like, well, get it. If you want it, go ahead and get it. He's like, he'll even say, it's your passion. If it's your passion, then you should do it. Sometimes I've thought, because I don't have a customer base, because I don't have a team, I get down on myself, right? I start to think, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? I've said before that, things have happened in my life that has caused me to be very, I can say really mean things about myself and think horrible things about myself. And so when things don't go right, first thing, it's all my fault. I blame myself. I'm obviously horrible. Nobody wants to be on my team. Nobody wants to buy from me. And it takes him to kind of like pull me out of that thought and get me to realize, you do this because you love it. You buy the wax because you enjoy it. Does it matter if anybody buys? Does it matter if anybody joins your team? Does it matter if anybody watches your videos? I've gotten down on myself for that. And yeah, I realized, I do this because I love it. I enjoy the wax. I enjoy having the warmers out and looking at them and putting wax in and enjoying the scents and playing with the scents. And I enjoy spending some time making a video. This one's already at an hour and 10 minutes. But I enjoy spending the time with you and just chit-chatting and sharing my love of wax and my love of doing this and kind of decorating my home with it. I really enjoy that. And so he reminds me, that's why you do it and not for any of the other stuff. And he's right. And he has his own passions, and I feel bad because I'm an introvert and I like being home, and he likes being outside. He likes to do boating. He likes to ride his motorcycle. In fact, he's leaving on Monday to go get another motorcycle. So maybe that's why I can't complain too much about how much I buy. Although we were talking about something and he was like, he kind of looked at me. He's like, I couldn't have bought a motorcycle for that. Not, he really couldn't, but I don't know. Anyways, he likes doing that kind of stuff. When we first got married, he worked on cars. He worked at an auto shop and he worked on cars and had to buy all his own tools, right? And tools are very expensive. The tool box to put your tools in is quite expensive. And it seemed like he always needed another tool and another tool and another tool. And so we were, paying the craftsman guy this week. I got to pay him every week. And, so he has his passions, and so he understands mine. And like if I wanted to go shopping back when I worked in the office, I wanted to go shopping because I needed some new shoes and some new clothes, and he's like, it's what you need for work, right? Same thing like he felt like with his tools. He needed it for the job, so he had to have it. And I think with the passion, he realizes it's something that makes me happy. Things aren't always, life isn't always happy, right? We like everyone else in the world have issues. We have things that go on. Some people may be blessed to have children who everything tends to go well for them, and they, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I had very strict parents, and my sisters and I were expected to follow a path, to stay within these lines. You better not go outside of these lines. You better never be an embarrassment to us. There were guidelines, and I would tell my children, I didn't even know what the principal's office looked like. I only knew what the office of where the principal was. I only knew what that office looked like because I remember a teacher asking me to bring something to the office. Other than that, I didn't go to the principal's office. I didn't get in trouble. I knew better. My parents didn't allow that. So I always did as I was told, and my kids haven't. And that, so I'm sure there's a lot of us who deal with that. And so life isn't always easy. Life isn't always rainbows and butterflies. And we look for the joy where we can find it. And he knows that the wax brings me joy. It makes me happy. It gives me something that brings me joy that I can do in the house, that I don't have to leave here to do that. And he has his things that he's passionate about, like his motorcycle or boating or, sometimes it's golfing or, just different things. And so I'm working harder at being more supportive to him and his passions. It's taken me a long time. I mean, shoot, we're going to be, our 29th anniversary is, coming up in about a week, June 10th. Will be our 29th anniversary. And, sometimes I'm surprised that he's put up with me this long. But I know he loves me. And I'll look forward to, I'd like to say 50 more years after that, although, being 58, that's not going to happen. But I love my husband. He's wonderful. He supports me. I try to support him as best I can. And I'm working harder to do it even better. I love you, Larry. And that was it for the questions. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I kind of got emotional there for a while. Sometimes the smallest things can trigger you when you're remembering a loved one that's not around anymore. And it's the way it goes. Sometimes a song will play on the radio, or, I'll have a song playing that was a favorite of my father's, and I will just start blubbering. That happened after my grandfather passed away. I saw a picture of, I think it was a pumpkin pie, and I started crying because it made me think of my grandfather. So you just never know. So I'm sorry if I got a little too emotional with y'all, but I like to think that we're among friends. I know that I think of y'all as my friends, and truly appreciate you being here. Thank you for the questions. Thank you if you stayed for this whole long thing. Thank you for listening to all of my crazy memories. And you actually, 7 people asked questions. A couple of them had multiple questions, but I gave you way more information than what you even asked for. Again, I'm kind of an open book. I don't usually mind sharing things about myself. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being on this wax journey with me. And until next time, enjoy your scents, enjoy your day, and enjoy your journey. Talk to you later. Bye.